What's up, guys, and welcome to the 8th episode of my Road to Ultimate Man United squad. This is going to be the first 8 games of Weekend League. I did actually complete about 32 games, which is okay, but we did get most of the wins of this Weekend League, which is good. And we start this episode by showing you the 2 players which we did pack in the last episode. I think they were from free packs, and we did get about, I think it was about 4 or 5k. No, not 4 or 5k, but I think it was about 3k. But from that we went on straight into our first game, which was against a guy who had Payet, Cuadrado. It was a nice looking hybrid there, and we did take the lead in the 11th minute from a mistake from his keeper, which did fall out to Wilson, which did take the lead in the 12th minute, but that wasn't it from there. It did fall to Depay there. I did get a lucky there, and he did score, which did make it 2-0 within 23 minutes, but in the first half he did bring a goal back just before half-time with Pjanic. He went through and absolute belted it from there, and it was a really good goal. I came here with Luke Shaw, found Lingard and smashed it right to the top corner, which did make it 3-1 before half-time. Come down the wing in the 71st minute with the Depay header from Darmian to Wilson, heads off the keeper, and Darmian does finish to make it 4-1 in the 72nd minute, but that wasn't enough. Lingard does go through. I do have Wilson there, and I shouldn't have really done this, but just to get an extra goal, I did have to sweat it there, and Mandanda doing something I've never seen, actually, that kind of save from that kind of shot. He didn't save it, and I did score, which made it 5-1 me. And that was our first win in our first game of this Weekend League. We do go into another game. The guy who has got Ronaldo, that was actually, he had a really good team, Modric and everyone, and he did take the lead with, I think that was Ronaldo, and then he did score with Martial, a bit lucky there, and then he did bring on Bale. No, he scored with Bale first, yeah, and then he did score here with Martial to make it 3-0. Remy to Martial, Martial through, Martial scores. I need him. I've got quite. I think I'm like 4 or 5k away from Martial. I think he will be my next signing, or it might be Mkhitaryan. I'm not sure, but we'll just have to see with the prices, because Martial might be getting an inform this week, so I need to see how it plans out. But we did lose that game 5-1, and that was the second game. So it's 1 win, 1 loss in this Weekend League and in this episode. But we do make our first signing of this episode. I think there's 2 signings in this episode. We do go ahead and buy Chris Smalling. We did want one that has more contracts, but if I wait for at least like another 2 seconds, I found one with 30 contracts and an anchor. I bought this one. I think this was fresh out the pack, and I did remove Tuanzebe from the club, not from the club, from the squad, which means there are no silver defenders. I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's no silver defenders now, so there's only golds, so the only thing we could do now is focus on the midfield and the strike. Now, he did take the lead in the 11th minute with Cuadrado, but then I brought it back about 22 minutes later with Herrera, and then in the 21st minute, we do go on here with Rashford. I do have Mata with me. Mata taking a touch and smashing it right into the goal, smashing it right into the net, which does make it 2-1 us in the 55th minute, but he does get a goal back with Insigne 5 minutes later, but that wasn't it. Carrick, our number 7, which I still need to do the squad numbers, I still need to do them, but he did score for us in the 71st minute to make it 3-2. That makes it the second win and the second win of this Weekend League. So that's us reaching bronze 2. Now, going into our 4th game, so we won 2, lost 1. And in the 4th game, we do come up against a guy who has got the likes of Koscielny, De Bruyne and everything. He did take the lead with Koscielny, but then this ball from Timothy Fosu-Mensah really proved its worth. Fell to Depay, and Depay finished in the 15th minute, but he did get a goal back here with Kevin De Bruyne left foot at the top corner. But then I did come back about 20 minutes out just before half-time, a bit lucky here with Mata, and he scores in the 44th minute, but then literally 3 minutes left from the game, Rashford going through, Rashford one-on-one, Rashford scores. That's all he does, that's good. And that brings us on to our 3rd win and 1 loss in our first 4 games of this Weekend League, which is amazing. This start has never been done. Last weekend I think I had 3 wins and then I had like 6 losses or something, but so it's a really good improvement, but we'll have to see what happens in these next couple of games. Now, getting to the 5th game, this was a really tight game. He did take the lead in the 8th minute with Musa. I did bring the keeper off by mistake. Get here back in with Carrick 13 minutes later, and in the 23rd minute, 2 minutes later, he scored with Musa. And now I'll do a quick 1-2 here, have Fellaini up with me, pass it to Fellaini. Fellaini finishes. Well, he gets lucky there because it falls right back to him. And then in the 32nd minute, he does get a corner, and Zuma does score. That wasn't it for him. Remy does get the ball here, does get a bit lucky, and he smashes into the roof of the net. But with just 2 minutes remaining, I did get a goal back with Fellaini assisting Wilson, and he does get really lucky here, and he scores to make it 4-3. I got 1 goal back. Fellaini again assisting Wilson, going through and getting lucky yet again, which makes it 4-4. 4-all, going to extra time. He does bring on Dumbia, and you know what that means. He hits it, well, basically it's going to be sweaty. He does have Remy and Dumbia up front, so I think that would, paint the picture that he's going at all attack. But then from the shot, I do get hit on the counter attack. Dumbia, with his 91 pace, sprints down the right hand side, passes into the box, and he does sweat it to Remy, which does give a taste of my own medicine of what I done last game and done to me in this game. Did get 900 coins though, and we did lose that game 6-4, which then makes us I think it's 3-2 in this weekend league. But we do make another signing with the remaining 15k, and we do buy Mr. Wayne Rooney. This is a really good signing, because now Mata could have a rest. That means I don't need to put Fellaini there, or I don't need to put Fellaini there, so I could have Mata there. And Fosu Mensah will leave, because then now Fellaini will go into the centre defensive mid role, not into the centre attacking mid, and now Rooney will go into the centre attacking mid role. So that means we'll have Schweinsteiger, Carrick, Schneiderlin and Fellaini as our 4 CDMs. And for the right mid, I've decided to use Lingard and Ander Herrera for the moment until we buy Mkhitaryan. So, getting to the 6th game, this guy did have a really good score with Ronaldo yet again. Mertens, Renato Sanchez. He did take the lead in the first 6 minutes, but then he scored again in the 9th minute. And in the 13th minute, he did make it 3-0. Which then I went on with Rooney, Wilson and Rooney connecting. Rooney comes here, first time shot right into the top corner. He did bring on Bale as soon as this game started. You see he had Callahan and then he brought on Bale, which did make a difference in this game. But then, obviously I wasn't going to win against a team like this. He did come here with Ronaldo, and he finishes in the 51st minute for his 2nd of the game. Renato Sanchez going through, smashes into the middle of the net, and then in the 88th minute, he does go in with Ronaldo to score his hat-trick to make a 7-1 him, and that proves, the value, not the value, but the quality of the players that he had compared to mine. That's 3 wins, 3 losses in this weekend league as we go into our 7th game and our 2nd last game of this episode. We go in, and the first goal never came into the 26th minute with Wilson, Rooney assisting. I think that was Rooney. Yeah, Rooney assisting. But then it went vice versa. Wilson assisting for Rooney, which did make it 2-0 just before half time. And then in the 82nd minute, which was the only goal for him, unfortunate for him, and we did hold off in the last 10 minutes to make it 2-1 with Mbolo scoring for him, as he did bring him on at half time. Did finish, so it means that we have 4 wins and 3 losses in this weekend league, which is really good for us. Now, in this second game, in this last game actually, we did play up against a guy who is a subscriber now, so big shout out to him. His name is FUT_player44. Really good guy. He gave me a really tough game, since he even had a red card as well, which not all people play good with red cards. Obviously he never went ultra defensive. I think he had Bailey in this. I think he did have Bailey, I'm not sure. But 2-2, as you could see in the 48th minute, and in the 57th minute, Mata going through with his 87 dribbling, and doing the business for us. And then Abraham, he did score in the 72nd minute, but in the last minute I did get really lucky here, and I did score with Fellaini. That was the game, 4-3, 84th minute. This was the last game of the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll have a double upload for you tomorrow. I'll see you next time. Thanks very much. Bye.